You want to know the reason you're actually here on earth? Well, I'm going to tell you in this video, and your soul forgot this. So hey guys, I'm Laura, and I make videos that will awaken your awareness. Now this video is based off Dolores Cannon's hypnotherapy work. So she was a hypnotherapist that traveled all over the world. She hypnotized thousands of people, and she started noticing that when people were put under hypnosis, they're all saying the same sorts of things. And so she started putting books together with her hypnotherapy transcripts in them. She's got about 20 books out, I believe. I read one of her books and I want to read more. I've also just watched a lot of videos of her talking about her work and her discoveries, and it's just mind-blowing. Now, what she's discovered through her work is the reason we're actually here, from our soul perspective, right? So the reason you are here is simply because your soul wanted to come here to learn lessons so it can evolve and grow. And the interesting thing about this is, on the other side, in the spirit world, your soul planned everything out for you. So it planned out all, the lessons that it wants to learn. It's planned out everything from like your name, your birthday, your parents. You chose your parents, your avatar body, the country you're going to be born in. Even your death was planned out by your soul before coming here. Like literally everything has been planned out. And when you understand this, that will change like your perspective on life, because you'll start to look at your situations in life and understand that, well, your soul actually chose it. So for example, I broke my back, right? And I had to have spinal surgery. Not the most ideal thing, not exactly something I'd really actually want to be like, yeah, let's do this. However, my soul signed up for the experience. Why? For some reason, my soul wanted the experience to learn some type of lesson. Whatever that may be. I don't know if I've learnt the lesson yet or not. But you know what I mean? All these events in your life, whether good or bad, your soul planned them out. So that, in a way, means you have no real control anyway. So, for example, you may have been married for 20 years and your marriage fell apart, right? When you can understand that your soul signed up for that experience, then you don't judge yourself for it. Like, you may be blaming yourself for your marriage falling apart. Like, oh, maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. But understand, it doesn't even matter, because your soul and your husband or wife's soul behind the scenes in the spirit world planned out that situation between you guys. Why? Because of whatever lessons that you're going to learn from the experience. That's the whole purpose we are here, right? So before we come in, we choose everything. We plan everything out. We plan out all our lessons that we're going to learn, all the situations we're going to be in, your parents, your birthday, like all the details, your death, everything's planned out. And then what happens? Boom, we drop in here and we have amnesia. We forget everything. Dolores Cannon says, this planet is the only place where you come in with amnesia, which is why it's so hard to come here. So we come in here, we forget our connection to God. We forget our soul contracts. We forget the lessons that our soul signed up for. We forget everything, right? She says, like, if you are basically spawned in on another planet, you don't forget. You remember your connection to God. You remember your soul contracts. You remember everything that's planned out. And so that's why it's really hard to be here. And she also said it's hard to be here because it's very negative, heavy, dense energy. So she says only the tough souls will put their hand up to come here. So congratulations, because your soul is a tough soul that decided, yep, I'll come to Earth. I'll come to this hard realm because I want to learn lessons. So when you understand this, your perspective on life will change. You'll look at your situations differently, because again, you'll understand that, like, even if a negative situation happens in your life and you wished it didn't, you can now go, Well, my soul signed up for this experience because of whatever lessons that my soul's wanting to learn. That's just what it comes down to. It's all about your soul learning lessons so it can grow and evolve. Now, there's a problem though. There's a problem where if you're not learning the lessons, because we have the amnesia and we forget, we're basically clueless, if we ain't learning the lessons that we set out for ourselves, we end up being reincarnated, right? So you go through your life, you have the experiences, you haven't really learnt from the lessons, you get reincarnated to have a similar life. Going through the similar situations, going through the similar lessons until you learn. And you can be reincarnated here and like for a long time without realizing it because you haven't learnt the lessons properly. And one of the other key things she said about, because she talked about the wheel of karma and how a lot of humans here are stuck on this wheel of karma. They're stuck in this cycle where they're constantly being reincarnated because they're not learning the things they're needing to learn. And one of the key things she said to get off this wheel of karma is forgiveness. Forgiveness is key, right? You forgive. You need to forgive everyone that has hurt you. And she talks about this, as messed up as it sounds. If you came here and you were sexually abused as a child, your soul signed up for that experience. Now, don't blame yourself for it. I don't want you to think like, oh, it's my fault it happened to me, because it's a terrible thing, right? But it's having that perspective shift so you can understand. It was a terrible situation, but for some reason my soul wanted to experience it for some sort of lesson. And then she talks about how you need to forgive. The key is to forgive, say, the person that sexually abused you. You're probably going to have a lot of anger and resentment because, especially if you're a child, they're taking your innocence. It's just crazy trauma, right? But she says the key is forgiveness. You have to forgive everyone that's hurt you, including people that, like if you were sexually abused, you have to forgive them. Because on the other side in the spirit world, you guys, you signed up for it. And she said when you're not forgiving the people that hurt you, you're being reincarnated. And that's why she said there's people that are stuck on this karmic wheel because they're not learning the lessons and they're not forgiving and they're coming back. They're just constantly being reincarnated to keep going through the same thing until they learn. And yeah, so forgiveness is key. Like, forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person at all. Forgiveness means that you have finally made the decision to be at peace with that situation that's happened, and you've made the choice to let go of the negative emotions and feelings like anger and resentment. You're letting that go out of your body. It's serving you to forgive, right? And yes, I understand it can be hard to forgive people, especially if they've done something really horrible to you. And understand that forgiveness is a process. It's not like flick a switch, oh, I forgive them, I'm all happy now. It could be a process that you have to actually work through. But the key thing to getting, like that she said, to getting off this karmic wheel, if you don't want to keep being reincarnated here, like I'm kind of keen to get out of here and go to another planet because this place is quite negative, the key is forgiveness. You've got to look at everyone that's hurt you in your life and forgive them and let it go, so then you don't need to be reincarnated, because that's how you've learnt your lesson. So I highly recommend going through a forgiveness process, because we all need to do it. We've all had people that hurt us, and most of us, cling on to that sort of thing, have a grudge or like have negative feelings towards the person. But you simply need to let that go and understand that, your soul's just here to evolve and grow. And if you don't want to be reincarnated, forgiveness is key. And this is also why I'm not a huge religious person at all. I'm not into Jesus. Like, I've never really been into that sort of stuff. I'm not a Jesus hater either, though. I'm just like open-minded, but just never really got too involved in it. But it's like, I do know when it comes to Jesus, the message he's trying to send us, because I do believe he was sent here to help humanity, but we still weren't listening. Right? The message he was sending us was to love each other and forgiveness. Forgiveness is key. Love and forgiveness is the key. Because our natural state of being is love. which is a really high frequency. We're living in a world where we're not loving each other. We're hating on each other, and it's so much negativity, and we're not forgiving when we need to forgive, because forgiveness is healthy for us to do. So there's a reason why Jesus was pushing that message onto us. So I hope you like this video. I hope you got some sort of understanding or clarity around why you truly are actually here, and understanding that it is difficult to be here, and that, you know, your soul put its hand up knowing it was going to be hard. When you understand this side of it, your perspective on life is going to change. And then whenever you have a negative situation that comes into your life, you can look at it from a different perspective as well, and understand, okay, there's a lesson here for my soul to learn. That's the reason I wanted to make this video, is just to sort of give a little bit more clarity around this sort of stuff, because like I said, we come in here with amnesia and we completely forget, and we don't really know what's what. So I hope you like this video. If you got some sort of value, let me know by giving me a thumbs up or write a comment. And if you like this sort of content, then subscribe and hit the bell notification. And the reason us YouTubers say this at the end of our videos is because the more activity on the video, the more YouTube pushes it out for more people to see. So that's why we just try to encourage people to do that. But yeah, I hope you stick around. I hope I see you on the next video. Peace.